I don't do what I do. We're going to talk about this. I've said yes to too many things. Have you guys ever done that before? I hate it when that happens, man. I even teach this crap. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, like, and in the middle of it, you're like, wait a second. It wouldn't normally be that overwhelming, except I can't seem to stay in one state longer than like 21 days. You know what I mean? It's like every time we're somewhere too long, we like get the itch and we have to go somewhere, and then it throws everything crazy. But that's okay. That's okay. We're here, and that's all that matters. This is my favorite time of the night, in all honesty. I love coming and being surrounded by you guys. That's something that I'm going to be talking about on the National Wake Up Call on Monday, is who you choose to surround yourself by matters. Okay. And that's something that we just came off of this weekend, being surrounded by how many people, how many of our team, we get up towards 100. This time, I think we had 60, 65 or something like that. We had 33 new people attend with us in Cleveland to walk through those doors with Danny, and just sitting and hearing the stories and having wine with each other. And then we saw a boy band on Friday night. That was unexpected. It was, I thought about Facebook Living it. It was so interesting. But just being with your tribe, and then talking through things, you start to hear your why not me stories. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? When you're sitting and you're leaning in with someone, you're listening to a story, and it's through them that you start to see hope. And that's what happened to me when I decided to get surrounded by some people quite a few times. It started with Tracy Morrow and making a trip to Ohio, back when I drew that line in the sand and decided that I was going to start to do something with this. And then when I went to Atlanta, when we had no team was going, it was the first Success Club trip. I didn't have a team going. Chad was deployed. I said, hey, Casey, let's go. This was before Casey had any interest in coaching, and she laid out by the pool most of the time while I went to the trainings. You know what I mean? Like, which is totally understandable. You know what I mean? But I decided to go get surrounded, and it's that commitment, that the law of decision that allowed me to hear my why not me story through Janelle Summers. Does that make sense? And so that's the power of getting surrounded by certain people. You're not going to hear a why not me story surrounded at a bonfire about a bunch of people complaining about their husband and how far they are in debt and how much life sucks, right? You don't see, there's no why not me in that. But when you get surrounded by people that have come so far, that have made changes, that had the courage to do that, that's where you start to say, wow, this isn't how it has to be. This isn't how it has to be. And I wanted to bring to you guys some why not me stories tonight. And so I asked these beautiful ladies that have been through Danny, that walked through those doors, some of them multiple times, and the life transformation through these ladies that you're going to hear tell their story is incredible. And you guys, here's the deal. Facts tell and stories sell. So we can train like crazy all night long. And if we just keep spewing facts at people, nothing's going to happen. And we are going to have training tonight with the amazing Katlyn Redmon and her amazing coach, Joy. We're going to get there, but you guys have to understand, Danny was talking about this up at lunch this weekend. She was saying, something back in her business 27 years ago when she started First Steps to Success, it was just for her team. It was just a training for her team. No one else came. It was just to help her team succeed, right? And that was back then that every month they had like a summit. She called it something else, but it's like where the whole company gets together, gets surrounded by each other. What they started to notice is a trend. Like every time, her team, we're tracking her team, they would go to First Steps to Success. After the First Steps to Success, they would see the income go up. Every time after a summit, they would see the income go down. And they're like, they called Danny in, they're like, what's going on? We don't understand. And she was like, well, I thought I was going to get in trouble, for real. You know what I mean? They were going to make her stop. But what they did is they actually cut back on the summits to only once a quarter, and all the production went back up. Now, here is why. Okay, here's why. And I'm getting to a point, I promise. When you go to summit or any event like that, they release products, right? They bring all the experts out. They tell you about all the ingredients inside of them. They bring, Shanti out, why he designed it that way. They tell you about the refresh and why it's designed with the right fiber in it to keep you hydrated, all of these factual things, right? So everybody sits there. They're totally pumped, right? Because, man, It makes sense scientifically. So what do? They go and they start telling people all the facts about why they should buy the product. Fact, 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 fact. No one buys based on facts. I mean, think about it. Retail therapy. Okay, why are we all, like, so many people in this country so far in debt? If it had to do with factual things, they would see, like, oh, I don't have any money left. Factually, I will not spend any more money. But emotionally, we do. Do you know what I mean? So it has nothing to do with facts, and it all has to do with stories, right? But you get off track sometimes. So I want to remind you, going into Summit, you guys, you're there to learn skills on how to share stories better, how to connect with people better, how to give hope better, how to be more efficient in your business, how to set more boundaries. We are not there to learn that our product is the best. Dang it. It's the best, and this is why. Because guess what you do? You provoke the rubies to say, yeah, right, I'll find a better one. Okay? And if you tell an emerald that it's the best, guess what they're going to do? They're going to research their tail off just to make sure that you're telling the truth. And they're going to get all going like that. The sapphires, you're going to bore the hell out of them. They're going to be like you totally lost them. Not fun anymore. It's the best. What are you talking about? And the pearls are going to buy for you because they feel bad, but then they're not going to do anything. You got a sympathy purchase. You see what I'm saying? So the reason I brought them in, because I want to make sure we don't get caught up in this factual stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's not, I was a personal trainer. You guys understand? I understood why everything worked. That's not, I totally failed for the first 16 months that I wore my personal training hat. You see what I'm saying? Personal training. Do you remember that? Yeah. I would teach people based on the fact that I knew these were the real deal. I researched Shakeology. I understood the ingredients. I was trying to memorize the ingredients. Bull crap. You cannot duplicate that. You cannot duplicate that. That is not what this is about. We're not trying, you know what I'm saying? Like we can duplicate systems, and we can give people hope through our stories. And that's the connection piece that can be missing sometimes. So you guys, what I want you to do tonight at the beginning, I brought in stories, because the why not me stories is what is going to give you the courage to draw the line in the sand today. What we're going to talk about, you draw that line in the sand. It's called the law of decision. Like today, I don't care if you've been a coach for 4 days, 4 years, I don't care. It doesn't start until you draw the line in the sand and you say, today is the day that I start moving forward. Period. End of story. No more back and forth, back and forth. That's mediocrity. We aren't mediocre, you guys. We are exceptional. We're wonderfully and fearfully made for a purpose. We were connected for a reason, right? But it takes hearing stories. It takes hearing these stories for you sometimes to have the courage to draw the line in the sand and say, why not me? And what I want you guys to do is I want you to lean forward and listen to how they share stories, because guess what? You need to learn how to tell your story. We all have a story, no matter what. Okay, and it doesn't need to be that you paid off $200,000 worth of debt and went from $69 to making $60,000 a month. That's just ridiculous, okay? My stuff didn't, you know what? I plateaued when Danny started spewing that, putting that all over. Once that started to get off, I was like, damn it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be relatable. You know what I mean? Like, that's not relatable. $60,000 a month? What the hell? You know what I mean? Like, what's relatable is an extra $300 to $500. What's relatable is $1,000. What's relatable is you paid off $3,000 to $6,000. That's relatable. That's life-changing. That's something that people lean in and say, why not me? Does that make sense? So you got to stop pushing your accomplishments off to the side. You know, I've talked to people before. I believe this is my Kessa. I only paid off $40,000. Was that you, Kessa, that told me that? What? Why? Because it wasn't 200? Oh, why? Because you weren't stupid enough to need to pay off 200, Kessa? How about that one? You know what I mean? Like, she just put that off to the side, but it's only $40,000. Only? Really? How many of you guys sitting on here, if you could figure out how to get an extra $40,000, would totally flip your crap? Like, holy crap. You know what I mean? How many of your life would be changed if you just had an extra $500 sitting around every month? What might that relieve a little stress off your family? How many of us, right? That's a game changer. We need to share our story from 200 to 500 to 1,000. Kelly Rodenhouse told me that one time. She's like, but I only make $1,000 a month. Only? Are you kidding me? Can I have an extra $1,000? How many of you guys could figure out a few things to do with an extra $1,000? Maybe, pay off your, work towards paying 2 car payments maybe, or towards your mortgage payment, or maybe it would pay for the diapers, or go on a vacation, save up for a couple months and take your family on a badass vacation. You see what I'm saying? We have stories, and we have to stop thinking we don't have a story until we get way up here. Because if you think like that, you're never going to get there. You're never going to get there. Because this business is built on a lot of people changing their life little by little and giving hope little by little back to a lot of people. Does that make sense? I mean, how would I have got here if I never had, I didn't start out making $60,000 a month. You know what I mean? I started out making nothing. And I remember when I made $200, I was telling people, like, holy crap, $200? Chad, we can go out to dinner. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not in the red this month. You know what that does for a marriage, not to be in the red, man? You guys can give that to people. You have the recipe. When you talk to them, I have the recipe. I can help you. This team can help you. Let's do this. And if we posture ourselves that way, everything changes. Everybody reacts to us differently. You carry yourself differently. So that's what you guys are about to hear today. You're about to hear some amazing stories. And we're going to start with Kristen Evans. Hold on, let me unmute you, okay? All right, there we go, Kristen. I want your 30-second story, kind of. You know, you might go a little over, Miss Sapphire, but that's okay.
Oh, no, I'm polishing up this gem, girl. So, you guys, it's me, it's Kristen. So, listen, before I was plugging into Danny 6 months ago, I was super trapped in my life, okay? Like, I was talking, like, feeling like a zombie. Remember last week? I told you that. My mindset was stuck in self-sabotage mode constantly. And I could not shake the anxiety that I was feeling, that I didn't know if I could succeed at anything, let alone this business. I felt like I was wasting a lot of my time and never getting anything accomplished. And I was completely spaced out with my son. And I was barely getting by in my life, okay? And since I started going to First Steps in January, I have found my freedom that I was looking for, you guys. Like, my life has started to, like, shine and spark again. And I felt alive, okay? I started implementing everything I learned there, and I learned how to break that cycle of self-sabotage. I started moving forward, finally, and I felt like my business is getting off the ground. I was able to pay off $9,000 worth of debt in 6 months, and I learned that from going to Danny. And I've also learned how to be a more engaged mom with my son, and now I have seen him start to thrive from the things that I have taught him. And I am working less hours, I am getting more done, and I am living the life that I want to live. So if you guys, you see yourself in my story, I want to see you in San Diego.
Yeah, holy crap, I got the chills like all over my body. Damn, you know what I mean? Like, good Lord, girl. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. I know people are going to have questions for you, but we're going to move on down this line and then wrap right back around while I take notes. But Kristen, look at that smile on your face. Holy crap. Holy crap. You guys. Oh, okay. I could go. We could just form a story around this for a whole, but let's go on. Let's hear these stories, because you guys are going to hear yourself in different stories around the way. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, Layla girl, you're up.
Hi guys. So, can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Here I am in my car, because this is just kind of how I roll, right? I mean, I was a traveling, prior to, plugging into Danny Johnson and everything, I was a traveling nurse, and I had so many estranged relationships, but I was extremely stubborn and believed that the only way to fix them was to escape from them. So I traveled all over the country all the time, living in different places and trying to build new relationships, but for some reason, nothing stuck. I had a hard time dating. I had a hard time keeping in touch with people after I would move away. I only spoke to my mom like every 2 or 3 months, and I had disowned my brother 2 times in about 4 or 5 years. And I mean literally disowned, and I can't even explain to you how nasty of conversations we've had to each other. But since plugging into Danny Johnson a year and a half ago, one of the first things I learned how to do was to relate to people again and to actually smile. And I realized how unhappy I was, even though I was trying to scream to everybody that I was just fine. I'm just fine the way I am. It's everybody else that just doesn't get me. I'm just super misunderstood. So after plugging into Danny Johnson, I learned the skills to communicate, to just kind of understand where other people are coming from. And I stepped back and realized that I'm not as happy as I think that I am. And I actually do deserve to have some happiness in my life. And the people around me deserve a nicer person from me. And through that, I've had so many miracles. I've been able to get almost any job as a traveling nurse. And I've been able to just walk in places and make conversations and relationships with people. My mom and I never scream at each other like we used to. I mean, we used to slam the phone down on each other, you know, just horrible relationships. Same with my sister. And I wasn't even talking to my brother. And then as I finally learned that, you know, family really does come first. And even though I was like, oh, I'm just going to make my own family. I'll leave the other family away and I'll get married and have more kids and I'll make my own family. And when I finally let that, you know, I thought about that differently. I reached out to my mom differently, and she ended up getting sick. And I walked away from my job in California to come out here. And that also meant kicking my brother out of the house. But at the same time, through the skills that I learned from Danny Johnson, I've been able to mend that relationship with my mother. We haven't fought one time since I've been home, not once. We haven't raised our voices in the house, not once. And at the same time, she did not come to Danny Johnson, but my brother did. I don't know how, when, why, what happened, but he just showed up at the moment that he needed to. He was there, and he told me yesterday, after years of drugs and abuse and everything, he told me he didn't think about getting a fix one time all weekend. He was completely relieved of that, and we hugged and we cried together, and we just experienced something amazing. And I don't know where you are with your family and your relationships, or even the relationships with the people that you work with. But if you're struggling to figure it out and you think you have it all figured out, but nothing is coming together, I'm telling you, even if it has nothing to do with the business, you will learn the skills to develop those relationships, and it will overflow into your business, because that's what we're here for, is relationships. And I'm telling you, if you're strained anywhere, your next step, get to San Diego, beautiful San Diego. It's going to be freaking amazing, you guys. And I'm so excited and blessed, and I could go on forever about the amazing miracles that I've experienced because I've plugged into Danny and used the tools that she's given us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys, we got to spend time with Layla's brother this weekend. He was like a sponge, man. Do you know what I mean? Just to see Layla and her brother, like, it's like such peace together, you guys. It was like staring there and thinking, like, maybe that's all what this was for. Do you know what I mean? And if it was, mission accomplished, you know what I mean? Like, fine, use me. You know what I mean? How cool is that to be able to go and to provide connections like that? Because that's what you become. That's what Layla became as she started to change, and people started to open up to her. She had enough trust, that bridging trust built for her brother to say, okay. And it very well changed his life this weekend. So that's absolutely incredible. Layla, I'm so, so proud of you, girl. And remember the first time she went, she really didn't smile. She made me so nervous. Do you know what I mean? Because I didn't know what she was thinking, because she looked like she hated me. You know what I mean? So, and now, like, I don't know, just smile and hug. It's crazy. Totally, totally awesome. So I love you, Layla. All right, Aaron, you're up. Aaron Booker. I don't know if you're unmuted, though.
I'm unmuted.
There we go.
I don't know. Those two are amazing. So for me, before going to Danny Johnson, I was hearing all about Danny Johnson on the team calls and from you, Summer, but I didn't see how Danny was really going to help me. That's the truth. I had no idea. I was like, okay. Summer said I should go, so I'm going to go. And it was last year at Summit when Summer said, at the next Danny Johnson, I want you there. And because I trusted her, I went, and holy crap, I'm so glad I did, because my whole life has changed. And my business is awesome, but you guys, that's not where it changed for me. It changed for me because I could look at my husband and feel amazing. Sorry. Chad, go away. Every time I see you, I cry. Really, I think for me, it was Danny gave me permission to forgive myself. And she teaches you that. She teaches you to love you. And I think that for me is the most amazing gift I've ever been given. So if you struggle with looking in the mirror and feeling ashamed for anything you've ever done, you have to get to that room, because we work so hard on forgiveness. And we've talked in this team about forgiveness is the linchpin to plummeting your business into like your business will explode. Your life will explode. I can't begin to explain to you, the women that are sitting here who are going to share, if I didn't go to this, I wouldn't have these women and my life would be horrible. So because of Dani Johnson, I can live a life of peace and joy. So if you can, for 1 second, understand that there is no excuse in the world not to be there. I have 3 kids. I work full time. I only get a certain amount of time off, and I have made a commitment. I have been there. My husband has been there. This is about building your family. So if you want to build your family, then you've got to get to Dani.
Absolutely. Absolutely, you guys. And the thing is the cool thing is you're just hearing like little snippets of these stories. When you sit down with a glass of wine and the stories, it's just the most powerful thing. And the thing is you might be thinking to yourself, I don't have anything like that. You know what I mean? I don't have anything. I'm good, which is like awesome. But your team does. So the people that you bring on do, you know what I mean? And so as good shepherds, as Dani says, you know what I mean? We lead them, we protect them, we get the lost, we bring them in and we protect them. And this is one way that we protect them. I mean, this is a tool that I've used for the last 4.5, almost 5 years to help people heal, to help myself heal, to keep me on track just a little bit. And Katlyn is going to talk about that little tweak that like this weekend that we got. Do you know what I mean? Like it could be one sentence. You know what I mean? That just bam, like whoop, that's all you needed. And you were headed towards Syria and now you're headed in the safe zone. And that might make sense to some of you guys when, you know, like, if Chad's plane's off by just a millimeter, keep going, it's going to land in Syria. It's going to go over Syrian border. You know what happens over there, right? It's a big deal. Some of us are headed into the Syrian border. Some of our teammates are headed to the Syrian border. And we just need to tweak them a little bit. And the only way to do that is to lead by example and to provide that place for them. Okay, Kessa Hawkins. You're up, girl. Can you unmute yourself? Or there we go. Okay.
You're right, Erin. How do you top all that? Holy moly. I just shout out to Layla for sure, sister. I am so stoked for your brother to be there. And, man, it makes my heart, because I know at Dynasty you and I talk so much about him getting there. So way to freaking get him there. So anyway, prior for me plugging into Dani, you guys, I was really, you know, that is what it is kind of girl. I was settling for a mediocre life. I became a stay-at-home mom, lost my identity. I lost the finances. I was always a bartender, always had money to do whatever. And I just fell into this life of it is what it is. And unfortunately, that led me and my husband down 2 different paths where we were never really together. We were drowning in debt, and like 98% of the population, we have no idea we were ever even in debt at all. And, you know, most of you guys know, I mean, I struggled with, you know, that closet pillhead soccer mom that no one had any idea. You guys, I was spiritually dead and used drugs and alcohol to numb the pain of never feeling worthy of greatness. And after plugging into Dani, you guys, my first event, I just remember texting my husband, like, I'm such a nag. Oh my gosh, gotta give him more sex. And that's when Dirty 30 created. Just saying. You guys, like Summer said, I've been able to learn through Dani's steps, the war on debt, to pay off over $40,000 in debt as a stay-at-home mom, working my business, not even honestly as hard as I could work this business, because I really never until just 2 days ago had a vision, a reason why I need to make this freaking work, you guys. And that's what Dani teaches you. She teaches you to have a vision. I mean, who the heck set goals when they were younger? I sure didn't. It is what it is. But since plugging in, you know, I have a vision. My husband and I's marriage are completely restored, aiming for that 4 times a week, as Dani tells us we should. Guys, life is just so much better. I'm not abusing drugs and alcohol anymore. I mean, I still get my drink on, but you know, not as crazy.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, keeping it real. It's not a lie. And the most, I think, the incredible thing is Danny, especially if you guys, when you win, you go to the spiritual equipping, because I think truly at Dynasty last year, that's what saved my marriage for sure, 100%. So if you guys haven't gone yet, you're thinking about going to San Diego, throw the excuses out the window. I sold stuff to get there. I did whatever it took to get there. Sell more challenge packs, sell your earrings, sell whatever you have to sell, but get there if you need something to change your life.
I love it. Oh my gosh, you guys, like seriously, like it was that is where Dirty 30 birthed itself, isn't it? You know, we have grown so much together, Kessa. You know, Kessa and I, and a lot of us keep going back because we're human, right? We get a little off track, and we need wise counsel in our life, you guys. We really do. You know, who you surround yourself by matters. And you got to be surrounded, and I'm going to talk about this on the National Wake Up Call, you got to be surrounded by people that love you enough to call you on your B-flipping S. You know what I mean? Like BS, you know? Like maybe everybody else that you're hanging around is okay with your marriage that's struggling, you're drowning in debt, and you're going through the motions. This team loves you way too much to be just okay with that. You know what I mean? And so this is one of the things that we do together. Chad and I have been like 18. Like we go every single time, and I take notes every single time. Layla takes notes every single time. You know what I mean? And then we come out and we share what we got. Like we will all catch different things. And then when you share it, you're like, wow, I didn't catch that. You know what I mean? And it's just the most powerful thing to realize that you are in the company of other people that have struggles. So it's not like you're alone, you know, but the people that are like, let's go this way together. And we have the skills from her to go that way. Does that make sense? It's absolutely incredibly powerful. Nicole Hamble, you ready, girlfriend? Unmute. I got you. Uh-oh. You froze.
Hi.
Okay.
You're frozen. Oh, no.
You're good. Let's go. Ready?
Okay. Hi, guys. I have butterflies in my stomach. I'm so excited. So I want to talk about where I was before I went to my first Danny Johnson in February. We went to San Antonio. My mom took me. Before Danny, I fought personal development and Beachbody for a long time. To the point where my family, Summer, Chad, my mom would discuss it, and I would say, you're not going to talk about it around me. I don't want to hear about it. Please go elsewhere. She's laughing at me. Drank that Kool-Aid. But, I mean, I was, before Danny Johnson or before my journey even began, I was restless. I have notes. Sapphire made notes.
Yeah.
I was unmotivated. I had no vision for my future. I was stagnant in my role at work. I was getting coaching a lot. I had no drive. I was searching for something that I couldn't really put my finger on. And then, what else? And then I thought, what do I have to lose? I was already really in deep with my fitness and my mental journey as well. And my mom said, let's go. And I said, you know what? It's time. Let's go. And I'm so glad I did. I thought to myself, what do you have to lose? And I had nothing to lose, and I had everything to gain. And since then, since beginning of this year, I am a nicer person. I'm a brighter person. I tell myself every day, you're the light in this world, and you continue to feel that way. I have grown in my role at work. I now have more responsibility. My team has my back 110%. I tell them every day, I hope you're on this bus because it ain't stopping. And my why now includes someone else. It's my boyfriend, who I love very, very much. I'm sure you've all heard me say it. I'm going to marry that man. And he is now part of my why now. And I wasn't going to do that. I don't want him to inherit my debt from my student loans. So that's a big part of my why now, and I want us to be together and enjoy life without having to worry about that. Oh, God. Oh, don't laugh at me, Jenny. But that's a huge part of my why now, and to continue on this journey and just be a light in the world. Like, why not? You have everything to gain and nothing to lose. So get on board. Like, let's go.
Oh man, you guys have to understand what I'm sitting here and watching. You have to understand. You know what I mean? To see this is incredible, to see that change, you guys. To watch Nicole go from kind of like negative, sarcastic, you didn't know what you were gonna get sometimes, you know what I mean, to this incredibly loving, supportive, funny, joy to be full of life and vision and excitement. You guys, that will change a family like that. Change a family like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know if you struggle with that, you know what I mean? But it's definitely a place to go and get surrounded like we keep talking about. All right, we got a couple more stories. Hang with me. Christy Vincent, you ready to tell your story?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So I'm Christy Vincent, and before Danny Johnson, I was getting success in my weight loss, and I was starting to get challengers in this business, but I was still like completely heavy with this burden of debt and fear and anxiety, and would kind of go forward and then I'd pull back, and just really sick with worry about everything, which held me back. So going to Danny Johnson, I learned the tools first to tackle debt. That was my big block. And so Brent and I have paid off $19,000 in debt in 19 months. And this is quitting jobs. So working less, actually taking in less money, significantly less money. And we will be debt-free by 2018, including our house. And so that, the burden of that, and I think I wrote it down because I'm not giving over $2,000 to King's Ransom. And for me, like, to be able to give like that is something I always dreamed of, and just to give freely without the worry that it's going to take away from my family has been such a gift to my heart. And we went on 2 vacations with my family for my brother and my sister's wedding. No credit cards were used. When I go to Danny Johnson now 4 times, no credit cards were used. Like, that freedom is amazing. So that was the first part. And then now, like, my relationships, that I lived in fear of people walking away from me for so long that I pushed people away. And I didn't even know I was doing it until most recently. Like this weekend, huge breakthroughs of how I thought I was helping everyone, but I was keeping them all right here. And in the last 24 hours, just the relationships and my family and my best friends, the willingness to let them in, I can't even imagine how amazing it's going to feel in 3 months and 6 months. So for me, before Danny Johnson, I had no peace. I had lots of fear, and I was just pulling and scrambling and fighting and with no hope. And now I have peace. Besides the fact my husband is out of a job right now, my brother's going through some pretty significant mental health issues, and lots of things are spinning around. I have peace because I have tools to deal with it. And so that's worth any amount of money in the whole world to me.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. That is so true. Did you guys hear that? And you know, Christy and I text and stuff because we kind of keep each other accountable for some things when it comes to relationships and stuff. But you and Brent are much more solid, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like a team.
Yep.
Not a mom, you know, telling someone what to do.
Yeah. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome, Christy. I'm so proud of you. How many of you would like to pay off $19,000 worth of debt? Would that help anybody?
Would like to be debt-free.
Debt-free by 2018. Holy moly, girl. Absolutely awesome. And staying balanced. You guys have to understand that. That's something that Christy and I try to hold each other accountable to. You know what I mean? Like, we actually go and have fun. You know what I mean? We try. I have to plan that into my schedule, I've realized. Anyway, Christy helps me do that. Summer, you need to come swimming today. Okay. See? We would have never grown so close if it wasn't for Danny. Okay, Nan, you ready, girl?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So wait, hold on a second. No, Nan just went for the first time. So we wanted to bring on somebody that, like, yeah, we do have the same headband. Go with your story, and then we'll talk about it, Nan.
Well, Facebook will definitely tag me as you because it always does, and now I'm screwed, right? So yes, as Summer said, this was the first Danny experience for me, and the reason I hesitated for so long is honestly I kept hearing it and I kept hearing it, and just like with this business, just like with Shakeology and these fitness programs, I didn't think that I needed it. Like I honestly just thought, like things are working for me. I'm hitting my goals. I'm hitting my success club. I'm building a team, but I still felt like there was just something missing no matter what I did. And I just couldn't put my finger on it. I don't even know what it was, but I was just something that day I signed up and I was like, well, the heck with it. All I keep hearing about from different leaders and different people on this team. And I know I have to trust what they're telling me. I've trusted them so far and they've led me the right way. So I'm going to go. And I'm so glad that I did. I went in just so open-minded, expecting, I'm probably not going to get much out of this, but it's totally okay. And let me tell you, it was mind-blowing. I think the one thing was I always just felt that there's just something wrong with me. Like, I'm like, what is it? Like, it's really hard to describe, but like, I just always think that there's something wrong inside of me. Like, why do I feel this way about my husband? Why can I not just like release this like fear, or why can't I release and just find this balance in my life and focus on the priorities that I really want to, for me to reach my vision? What is it that's holding me back from this? And I truly just thought like, I was like, what? I couldn't put my finger on it. And then so went to Danny, and Danny was going through the gems, and she started talking about rubies, and I was like, and I knew I was a ruby, but holy smokes, like I was like, girl, like I'm not as weird or abnormal, or I don't even know. It was the craziest thing for me to hear, and just to knock down my walls, and just to hear it from somebody, different than, Christy, my upline, or Summer, or somebody else, and just thinking mentally, okay, what is it? Like, what is this? And realizing that it's okay, and that I can knock those walls down and build bridges and learn. And now I just feel like it's just like this sense of like relief off of my shoulders. I literally got home, and the next morning I woke up on Monday, I went to work, and I was like smiling. I was talking and asking questions to patients that I would never have done before, just relationships and bonding that I was doing, and just, with the team. And I just really can't wait for each and every single one of you guys to experience this, and actually something that my husband and I have been waiting and to do. We've said it for, 6 months to 8 months now that we were going to do it. And I came home from Danny and I was like, darn it, we're doing it. So we pulled out some money from different places that we had, and we literally are going to cut a check to my parents for $14,000 and pay off the student loan that we have, because I'm done. Like, I have to just get this freedom. And it just was over our heads, and I'm so glad that we can do it. And yeah, so I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for Danny just telling me that we have to just take risks in life. Yeah. So
wow. That's incredible. You see, like it sets some things in motion as you're surrounded by people, right? And you get these tools and you hear it from someone else, and it gives you the courage to make these decisions that are absolutely life-changing. Like, she's just been home for one day, you know what I mean? 1.5 days or whatever, and she's already making these changes, which is absolutely awesome. And the cool thing about it is you guys, after you go to a Danny, crap, I keep hitting the wrong button. Nan, I have to ask you to come back in video. Sorry. After you go, we have a whole group of people that, a team, a leadership page for Danny graduates, First Steps to Success graduates, where we help hold each other accountable. And every week we have a webinar that is always recorded, where we talk through and we challenge each other. You know, like I said, remember, we care enough about each other to challenge each other. We know what's important. We really dig in with each other. We know what we're working towards. Some weeks we're all just working on having more sex. You know what I mean? And we're keeping each other accountable to that. It's like that kind of thing. It's not just beach body, man. It's so much bigger than that. And so I want to invite you guys to go with us. I want to invite you to be someone's why not me story. I want to invite you to come and get surrounded. You know what I mean? I know there's so many like reasons we make up, you know, that we come up with why we can't go. But in all honesty, if you think like if Christy, where would Christy be? Where would Nicole be? Where would Kessa be? Would Kessa still be popping pills, man? Would, you know what I mean? Would Erin Booker have forgiven herself yet and been able to move on and improve her marriage? You know what I mean? Would Christy still have all this anxiety wrapped up inside of her that when her husband got laid off, that it would have set them into a tailspin because she didn't have the skills to work through it and to stay faithful right where she was? Does that make sense? Like, the reason I keep going back is because I know I don't live in heaven. I know I live on earth, and I know challenges are going to come. You know what I mean? And I'm going to need support. I'm going to need wise counsel, and I'm going to need skills to continue to move through them. So listen, as a team, we go. Chad and I one of us are always at the events. You know, and as a team, we sign up. So the sign-up sheet we're going to post in the team page after this webinar for you to at least get on the list. So if there's anything in your heart, don't start thinking about why you can't get on the list. Just get on the list and talk to Mariana. She is incredible at helping you find ways to get there and hooking you up with different things. So just talk to her about it. You know what I mean? And care enough about what's going in your life to at least put your name on the list and get surrounded by Mariana to begin with. And then when we go out to San Diego, what we do is we sign up as a team, okay? And we get rebates for the team, and then we have drinks together. That is paid for. You know, we do a round of drinks for each other. We do a round of appetizers. We create that tribe, that atmosphere to talk. We rent like little conference room to do our workouts in and to have morning coffee talk, to be surrounded. So it is the most incredible experience to me. It recharges me every single time and keeps me focused, because you intentionally have to surround yourself by people that are moving in that direction, that are making changes, that have the courage to make the changes. So you guys, if you feel like your business is struggling, if you feel like there's just something not right, like Christy did, or like Nan did, like something was wrong with you, or maybe it's in your marriage or finances, you have to find a way to get there. We put our first event on a credit card. And let me tell you what, if we didn't have the skills from that, I don't know if we would have survived his second deployment. I don't know if we would have survived that deployment. And so I'm thankful that we put it on a credit card, because we were living in the red. We didn't have any money anyway. So if I kept doing what I was doing, I was going to continue to have no money. So I knew something had to change. You guys, thank you so much, all of you guys, for sharing your hearts and being vulnerable with everybody. I know that's not always easy, but I hope you guys understand that you just were someone's why not me story, and it's going to have a ripple effect, and you reap what you sow. You just sowed a whole bunch of awesome hope into people, and you're going to reap the benefit of that, you guys. So thank you for stepping outside of your comfort zone and sharing.
Do you want to share the dates?
Okay, the dates are San Diego, August 20th, 21st, and 22nd. There's a lot of reasons I don't think I should be there, such as I'm tired. You know what I mean? I'm speaking at Summit. I'm speaking on the National Wake Up Call, and I don't have a home, and we're supposed to close on a house on August 12th. I should get settled in. I should just stay right there. I don't need to go. I've gone 18 times. Do I really need to go again? No, I don't need to go again. Like, I'm going to have to leave my family. Like, we just got settled in. Are you going to be able to handle all the kids in a new house and 2 dogs? Like, you see what I'm saying? There's no reason I should be there, but I'm going to be. I'm going to be, because it's changed my life, and it's going to continue to. And we need wise counsel.
Bring the kids.
And we might bring the kids. I didn't know that.
Maybe.
Okay. Birthday weekend. Perfect. All right, you guys, we have an awesome webinar that started 50 minutes late. No, I'm just kidding. That you are going to hear from, where they at? Where'd they go? There they are. We have Joy, and Joy, you're gonna have to tell me how to say your last name. Let me unmute you. I'm always like, Rykhus. Is it Rykhus?
Yes.
Boom.
Boom. Joy Rykhus is a diamond on Katlyn Redmon's team, which Katlyn is a 1-star diamond. However, she has 3 diamonds in her downline, and some of them are under Tony, so it doesn't show up. But Katlyn has taken her ego, threw it out the door, listened to directions, has been building things, you know, and Katlyn has an incredible story, and so does Joy. But they've both been to Danny, because they follow directions. But that's just a side note. But I'm gonna let you guys completely take over. I'll just alter who's pinned when who's talking. But Katlyn, I want you just to take it and go, and you guys do your thing, okay? All right, go on, girl.
Okay, did you want us to like introduce ourselves?
Yeah, I want you to introduce and tell your story.
Okay, I know. I need to introduce myself because as of last Team Courage call, I realized that I'm an island and I need to change that. I thought it was cool and it's not cool. So I'm here. I always have been here. I've been here for about 2 years and I will be here. I came into this business just absolutely no interest at all in the business. I didn't like people. Well, I thought I didn't like people. I didn't want to sell. I didn't want any part of it. I can't tell people no. So Summer's like, you should really create a Facebook so you can be in our team page and get the updates. And I was like, okay, sure. So I did. And honestly, I don't even know how it like slowly kind of grasped you, but it took me a long, long time. So be patient with your discount coaches and try to involve them. I wouldn't be here today if Summer wouldn't randomly, I mean, we didn't talk for like a year and a half, no messages, no likes, nothing, no communication. She's probably blocked, not blocked, but unfollowed. And she messaged me and asked me if I wanted to, it was actually a Push to Diamond group with some of these girls you heard talking. And I can't say no, so I was like, sure, that's great. And we did Find the Fire and all that kind of stuff. And I hit diamond in 2 months and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, why did I think I couldn't do this? Like, I just didn't try to do this. And what I wish coaches would understand about this, though, is it's so much more than, you know, how much money you're going to make with this and where that takes you and some stupid, like, name by you. Like, what is elite? What is diamond? What is 3-star? Like, it's so much more than that. It's about your journey in this, and that's what I've taken away that has changed my life from this is just like the people skills that you learn from, I mean, especially going to Danny Johnson and doing her videos. I've created relationships that mean so much to me. It's completely repaired and saved my marriage. It's just brought me so much confidence, and I honestly do not even recognize the old person I was. I'm a totally different person, and you know, birds of a feather flock together. You rub off on the ones you love too. You know, Tony's never been to Danny Johnson. He's never been on a team call or anything like that, but I changed me, and I might not have been the one who needed change, but I changed me, and it has affected all aspects of my life, and I wouldn't go back. And I wish more coaches would embrace the journey instead of trying to race for some rank or some income. I mean, that's great. It comes. Trust me, it comes. Can you hear me? Y'all hear me? Kind of? Well, Joy, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Joy. I'm a diamond coach on Team Bliss. And I actually became a coach because I saw a post from my upline sponsor who was at Danny, and I thought that looked fantastic. I wanted to be in Florida. So I asked her what it is she was doing, and she explained Danny to me, and she explained Beachbody to me. So I've been a coach for about a year, and I didn't make it till Danny till 2 months ago, but seeing Danny was initially what got me wanting to be involved. And then I was just drawn to the community. There's nothing like this team and this community. They are a community of 2%ers, and that's what I wanted for my life. I didn't want mediocrity. I wanted to be the top 2%, and I wanted to live my life with freedom for my family, financial and time. I didn't want to be strapped to bills and strapped to a 40-hour-a-week job where we couldn't go anywhere or do anything. So my first experience at Danny, what stuck out for me was that I am a ruby emerald, and I am surrounded in my family by sapphire pearls. It's a struggle for me. I communicate like an emerald, so I'm factual, I'm condescending, and I'm sarcastic. That is how I communicate. And I didn't realize the damage that was doing to my 5-year-old Sapphire. That was squashing him. And when Danny went in depth on gems, and she specifically spoke about sapphires, I was just crying because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm killing my sapphires. My husband's a sapphire, my son is a sapphire. I haven't figured it out my 3-year-old yet, but she's gonna be sapphire. It's my luck. So I learned to communicate effectively to my sapphires so that I wasn't killing their spirit and killing their gem. And I learned that my communication wasn't effective, and it wasn't cute, it was rude, and it was damaging. So that was huge for me. And the other thing was not getting stuck in that cycle financially of using credit cards, paying them off, using credit cards, paying them off, and all our money was always ever going to paying off our credit cards. We weren't in debt, in a lot of debt, but we were stuck in a bad cycle, and so we agreed to break that cycle. And my husband, I came home and I was just so on fire, and he saw that in me so much so that he wants to go to San Diego next month. So I'm hoping that can happen for us. And yeah, that's kind of my Danny story. So you
Awesome.
want me to?
Nope, that's good. That's good. That's awesome, you guys. Yep. So you guys, I just wanted you guys to do a little intro, but right before you went into your training. So are you going to lead the training? Start off right with your piece? Okay, cool. Hit it, girl.
Okay, so tonight I just wanted to talk to you. I have 5 talking points about confidence and having confidence in this business and having confidence in yourself. So my first talking point is the importance of having that confidence in your business. And the reason it's so important is because it makes you self-assured, and it gives you the courage to accomplish the tasks you need to accomplish. So it also makes people comfortable around you. People aren't constantly having to affirm you and make you feel better about yourself. You're just that confident, comfortable person, and people like that. They want to hop on your train when you're confident, when you know what you're talking about, and when you're just confident in who you are. And I also feel like people are more willing to trust you when you're confident, because they feel like you know what you're talking about, you know your results, you know what you're doing in life, and that's what people look for. So it's just really important to just stand in, like have that appearance and speak with confidence. My second talking point is confidence comes from experience. So you have to get outside your comfort zone and do things that you wouldn't normally do. Nothing good happens inside your comfort zone. You can't grow. You can't move forward. You can't have those experiences that cause your confidence to grow. So you need to start just by taking it one step at a time and just complete that task that scares you, because confidence isn't about having no fear. Everybody has fear. You can't have courage in the absence of fear. So to build courage and confidence, you need to overcome something. So you need to find that task that scares you the most and just crush it. Just kill it. Just approach it and know you're going to get through it. You're going to live through it, and you're going to learn from it, and you're going to do it better next time. And that'll build your confidence naturally. Like this call, for instance, this is my first time on a really big call. I'm sweating. I'm dead. I'm going to need a shower after this. But you know what? I'm doing it. And next time I'm going to be better at it. So you just have to get outside your comfort zone and do it. So I was reading something the other day that talked about having experience. People seem to approach this business oftentimes and they think that I'm a coach now, I should just be able to sit here, start making money, and I should be successful. But that's just not the way this business works. It's like anything else. If you look at a ballerina up on stage who's perfect and graceful and has a lot of technique, do you see somebody who you think put on ballerina shoes that morning and became a ballerina? No, she's probably been doing it for 20 years and she's had experience and she's accomplished it and she's had failures, but she's moved forward and now she's amazing. So you need to stick with it and build those experiences and build your confidence in yourself, and this is going to explode for you. You just have to stick it out and make it work for you. My third point is boosting confidence starts with action. So success is what happens when you stop making excuses and start taking action. So don't let your excuses hold you back. Take that action and make that success happen for you. Don't sit there and expect things to happen. Don't make excuses like I don't have time, or I can't do this, or I'm too shy, or I don't have the skills. Just get out there and do it. Take that action, and that'll boost your confidence in what you're doing. My fourth talking point is confidence grows based on what you feed it. So what is your vocabulary like? What is that conversation in your head? Do you tell yourself things like, I can't do this, I'm too shy for this, I'm too fat, no one will listen to me, I fail at things? Is this the confidence or the conversation that you're having in your head? Because the things you say to yourself are the things you're going to become. So you need to have positive vocabulary in your head. So instead, you need to change your words, and you need to say, I am confident, I'm working on being confident, I am working on my fitness, and people can relate to me. And so make sure that you are having a positive conversation in your head, and build walls around your positivity. So weed out negative influences in your life. If you have people in your life who are, don't believe in you, or who are telling you negative things about yourself or about your business, you need to just cut them out. You need to build that wall around your positivity and not allow those negative influences. So what drew me to this team and to Danny Johnson was the community, because birds of a feather do flock together, and you need to be surrounded by that community of 2%ers in order for that to be your life, for that to be your thinking, and for that to be the conversation in your head. My fifth talking point is to just fix yourself up inside and out. So, if you want to appear confident, you don't go rolling out of bed in your sweats. You take a shower and you fix your hair and you put on your makeup and you put on your cute outfit and you appear confident. That makes you feel better. That makes you feel confident because you appear that way, and people have a positive outlook on you because you know how to put yourself together. But you also need to fix yourself up on the inside, meaning personal development. So you need to be building your skills professionally, your business skills, your emotional skills, your communication skills, and that all comes from doing your personal development, reading those books, and building that area that you struggle in. So if it's, for me, it was my communication with my family members. So I had to do a lot of personal development and go to Danny in order to learn that that was a problem for me I didn't even realize. And once I found out that was an area that I struggled, then I had to hit it hard because I knew that was an area I needed to fix. And since fixing that, it's just made a huge difference in my life. So make sure you're doing your personal development, and you're rounding out those areas that are a struggle for you, that are the catch that you need to fix. So that's my end. Caitlin?
That's good. That's good. Wait, Caitlin. Chad just whispered in my ear that he wanted to say something.
Well, I just asked a question. Is this their first one, the last one?
Danny?
Yeah. Yeah?
No, not the light.
No, DC.
DC, okay.
He was my
Well,
first.
either way, that's it's like talking to a different person from January.
From January. I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I remember sitting at that little table in the corner, and
in Utah?
Yeah, in Utah. That's right. Yeah. It was, wow. I say that about everybody that has gone to Danny. it's like a different from Chris to my sister, from Aaron Booker to Kristen Evans.
I didn't realize I was a Ruby back when I was talking to you.
Yeah.
And you kind of pointed it out. You're like, what's your favorite word to say? And I was like, why?
Yeah, it's
yeah, you're a Ruby.
Yeah, that's a very Emerald thing to ask too.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
I
You just convicted me on like all 5 of those. So.
I do love that.
Gosh.
Yeah. I mean, and you guys, these are tips to become extraordinary. You know what I mean? And these are things that has worked for Joy, and some notes that I took is like, you have to carry yourself with confidence. People want to, when you posture yourself a certain way, people want to get on that train. Does that make sense? Okay. People don't follow someone that they're just like, kind of not sure, like maybe, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't make anyone like sound secure. I was talking to Sandy at corporate today because we were talking the prep for next week's call, and I was talking about it from a more serious level. And if we all treated our job, our life as serious as this, we would get much different results. So Scott Mann, when he goes in with, okay, there's a guy named, what's his name, Poppy?
Oh, yeah.
Poppy, right? He was the first guy into every room over in Afghanistan. Or every time they were anywhere. Do you know what I mean? He was a Green Beret. He was the first one in. Like, you want to follow someone like that, right? Like, that makes you feel secure and protected and confidence. It's what a shepherd, that's what a leader is. This guy, boom, right through every single time. First one in with confidence, okay? Now, if he was like a leader on the outside going like, well, I don't know. Do you think we should go through there? Like, no, you go first. No, you go first. No. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine if that's what that looked like? You know what I mean? Can you imagine if we ran our business from that leadership point, like, this is what I'm going in. You know what I mean? Like, we're going in. Feedback. Oops. I always screw that up. Where's that coming from? Double. Okay, so can you imagine when you posture yourself that way, people follow you into a building that has explosives in it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, when you posture yourself, people come to the rooftop with you, okay, and are willing to fight their battle, and that's what it feels like sometimes. Sometimes it feels like we're trying to lead people into a building that has explosives. Like explosives of people that are going to tell us no and tell us it's stupid and that never works. And you see what I'm saying? But when you know where you're going, when you carry yourself with confidence, when you're reprogramming yourself and you're quieting that negative voice and filling it, like Joy said, with those positive affirmations every single day, people want to follow that. You have to become that person. And it's just a decision. It's a decision. Some of you guys are sitting on here right now like, that's great for Joy. How do I do that? It's a decision. It's a line in the sand. It's saying, I will not be that person because where I want to go is more important. I'm going to be this, I'm going to posture myself this way. Does that make sense? Okay, so when you sit down to work, the way if you posture yourself like, I don't really want to do this. I have to go to this stupid thing. Yes, babe, I don't want to go to this. You know what I mean? He's not going to follow you into battle. He's not going to get behind your vision. You know what I'm saying? But if you treat it like a mission that you're on, this is where I'm going, they end up sitting next to you. That's crazy, right? He came to the rooftop, but I had to go first. So you guys, it's a decision. It's an absolute decision for you to remove the negativity, to surround yourself by the people you want to surround yourself, to take action, to speak life over it, and to posture yourself with confidence. That's just a decision. Whether you get up in the morning and do your hair, that's a decision. It's all a decision. And Katlyn is going to talk about one of her first topics about this millimeter change and all that kind of stuff. I'm excited for you to hear her talk about that because it's a game changer. Are you ready, Katlyn?
Yes, let's pray that my connection is stable. So
okay.
If I completely go out, just mute me or something like that. All right, I have 4 points I'm going to kind of bounce off of, continuing what Joy talked about. And the first point is how a millimeter can change everything. And I will just tell you right now and be honest about this business. You're going to hit walls and you're going to be frustrated at some point in this business. It's the same thing with like parenting and marriage. It's a bad thing. It just means it's a road bump that you have to get over. And a lot of the times, you could just have veered off a millimeter, and you have to check yourself for that. And just like the airplane example, when that airplane changes its course by a millimeter,
all of a sudden the destination is different. And it's the same for us if we stop doing personal development for a hot second, or I hope not. I hope it's not. Can I get closer? Does that help? I don't know. I'm like right by the window and my router's right here. That's why I'm sitting on the floor like this. But it's the same thing when you stop doing team calls. I see coaches fall off of this business and this opportunity when they stop doing team calls, or even like live, like coming on live. There's 101 of you on this call live. That shows that your level of commitment is higher than someone who's like, I'll just catch the recording next week. Like, it shows a difference. I've lived it. I've done it. So those millimeters, you know, how you hold yourself, how you speak to people, it could be off by just a little bit, and you have to check yourself, because what, you know, just like eating that donut on Monday isn't going to change anything. But if you eat a donut every single day for 6 months, you're going to be at a different place. You know, you're not going to be confident. You're going to have some, now you're going to have to reverse and go back. So check that, you guys. It's the difference between being certain and not, and that millimeters in how your shoulders, in how you hold yourself, really makes a difference. And I have an example. Did anyone go to the Beachbody cruise this year? So I did. And one of the days we decided to go to Atlantis, and we went to this water park, and it was all fun. We start going down these water parks, and then I'm in line with my friends, the Bliss Babes, my husband. We're walking, and I like peek over the wall, and I'm like, are we only for that water slide? Like the one that literally like just drops down and nothing's holding you, and you go into a tank of sharks? That's the one we're in line for? Like that one. There's not one behind it or anything. Like, no, I guess it's like the slide to go on, so we're gonna go on it. And I'm like, okay. How do we not, that you literally, you guys, you drop straight down and nothing holds you in. I don't understand how you don't dive into a tank of sharks, by the way. I don't know what we were thinking, but I was like, okay, the person in front of me didn't die. There might have been blood, but the sharks washed it away. I don't really know. You can't really see because they go 50 miles an hour. So I was like, all right, he lived. I see him walking down there, so he's alive. The sharks didn't get him. So I had to posture myself, because I'm a Ruby and I take challenges, and I can't back down from a challenge. And I couldn't like embarrass myself in front of Tony, so my husband. So I'm like, okay, I got this. So I'm like speaking to myself, holding myself, talking to myself, being like, all right, we got this. And I sit down, the light's red and it turns green. Has anyone skydived? I've skydived before too. Like that second you got to jump, you literally can talk yourself out of it. What goes on in here? Like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I don't know. This is scary. I can't do this. I would have walked right out. But instead, I was posturing myself like, I got this. Like, this is cool. Like, no, I'll do this. Like, I can't believe I'll just walk down to the bottom. what a baby. So it's just another example. So number 2 is train yourself for success. What we don't have control over what happened yesterday. Yesterday's gone. We'll never get it back. There could have been an opportunity that we had, and it's gone. You know, we've talked a lot about Danny Johnson, so I'm just going to hop on the train. Maybe this is your chance, and the only time you could maybe have. Like, you have control over today forward. So from this call forward, if you've been struggling, if you're like, holy crap, like all those things that Joy said, you're like, yeah, I don't think I'm doing that. Take control today from this call on to change what you're doing by just a millimeter. You can literally train yourself for success by doing these things. It's so easy, which is awesome. It's so easy, but it will make such a big difference. And we're Syra or whatever she said. We don't want to be in Syra. We want to be here. Not on an island, but we want to be here. So we're going to train ourselves from here on out to be certain, to be confident, because I walked into this business completely shy, and I can personally attest to using these things on how I talk to myself, how I got down that stupid water slide. I do these kind of things to walk in. You should have saw my first webinar. I'm so glad that it was any meeting, if anyone was a coach back then, and Summer had just moved, and so her internet was all crappy, probably like mine is right now. And so we had to do talk to, which is no big deal. So I'm doing this. It was like a 15-minute call. There was like 15 people on. I walk off into a mirror. I had an anxiety. I don't even know what it is. I never had it in my life. But I was literally covered in a heat rash of some sort of anxiety because I was so scared. I didn't want to do it. And now this is my favorite part of this business. I look forward to my bliss calls that I lead for my team. It's literally my favorite part. I get adrenaline. I like it. It excites me. It brings me joy. I love passing on and knowing I'm helping other people. There's a big difference there. I was not confident to being really shy to insecure to a completely different person. And it, like Joy said, it definitely takes action. But it also is how you hold yourself. Joy doesn't have a problem with this. She's always been this awesome. But I told her that. I was like, you have to tell yourself, like, you're going to nail this. Like, Team Courage is going to walk off a better team because of you. You have to tell yourself that. And look at her. Did you think she was nervous? I didn't. She looked pretty confident to me. She programmed that into her head that I'm going to do this. And so that's what I have done. You just got to love people. You got to learn about people. You have to care about people. And you can sculpt your mind and change your focus by doing this and become whoever you want to be. It's the difference between, this was what held me up. I was like, I'm a good coach. I got this. Like, I can hit Success Club. Like, you know, I'm pretty good at helping people wait. I can do this. I'm a good coach. I just don't think I'm a good leader. Like, my team's not following me. My coaches are quitting. Nobody's even trying for Emerald. People just blocking off. Like, they're just not following me. Nobody went to Summit last year. I was like, I'm not a good leader. And I wasn't because of that. But as soon as I changed my tune from some calls we did with John Maxwell and being intentional and learning that leadership was a skill, I gained confidence. And from there, instead of saying like, I don't think I'm a good leader, to being like, you know what? I have the potential to be an awesome leader, and I'm going to be an awesome leader. I'm going to take the steps from here on out. I'm not responsible for the coaches that quit in the past. From here on out, I'm going to do what I have to do to be a good leader. And I am a good leader. I'm equipped with everything. I have books, I have audio, I have YouTubes, I have events. I can go to Danny Johnson. I can purchase her leadership things. I have everything I need. I have mentorship. I have other coaches on this team. I have the same product that the #1 Beachbody coach on the network, Melanie Mitro, I think. I have the same products as her. She just has more skill than me. And I know at one point she didn't just hop into this business like, I got this, I'm a good leader, I know everything I'm doing. She didn't. She had to learn it. So it was that just change in how I treated it. And be aware what you get into your mind will start circulating. And if it's a bad record or a bad song, you have to get it out of your head. Like, think about when you get a song stuck in your head. Like, does anyone remember that old song that, like, Call Me Maybe, that was, like, literally the lyrics. There was 5 lyrics. That thing got stuck in my mind forever. I was like, da-da-da-da. I loved it, right? And then what happened? Like, how do those songs get out? Are you still singing MC Hammer or Call Me Maybe? No. We're like, hello, how are you? Adele comes on the radio and she starts singing about a telephone, and now we have this in our head, and now we don't remember Call Me Maybe or Can't Touch This. Okay? So if you have a bad CD in your head, you have to reach program. Stop laughing at me. I'm not the best singer. I'm not claiming it. I know. I didn't warm up my vocals, okay? But be aware of also that gets in your head because that's what's playing on the radio too. So what is in front of you? What are you seeing? What's going into your mind? I've sang songs that I didn't even understand what I was singing. Like, Tony's like, do you understand what this song is about? And I'm like, oh, maybe we shouldn't play that. Like, but you know, like subconsciously your mind goes through this information. Okay, getting close to being done, you guys. Power of belief and certainty is my number 3. And so you guys have to believe that you are extraordinary, and you have to be certain about that. And, you know, you may be making like $300 a month, like we kind of talked about, or maybe you're making $50 a month, and you're like, I'm not like successful yet. Like, I can't share this opportunity as that because I'm not making this. But while you're sitting there squashing that $300 a month or that $50 a month, somebody's car payment just went on a credit card that now they can't pay that, and their car's getting repoed. Or maybe that $50 just bought groceries for somebody's kids who their husband just lost their job and they don't have anything in savings and they don't know how they're going to make money. So you have to have that belief and certainty that you have something to offer. It's not about you. It's not about how much you're making. It's not how big your team is. It's not about your rank or any of that kind of stuff. Or if you get to walk the stage at Summit, nobody cares. You have the same opportunity that we all have. And you have to be confident, and you have to believe that when you're talking to people, because this changes lives. We've seen it happen time and time and time again. And if you've noticed, if you paid attention to any of the people talking about Danny Johnson, they talked about debt a little bit, but most of their stories were about personal victories that they've had in their lives, whether that's relationships or how they feel or all that kind of stuff. I didn't hear a whole bunch of, I'm making a month and life is great. We have a big fancy house. We have a big fancy car. I didn't hear that. I don't hear Summer talking about that whole bunch, you know? So you have the same opportunity. Believe that. Don't hope or wish for this to work for you or to work for your coaches. Demand that it does. Like, stand up. Like, lift your shoulders up. Speak that. Be like, I am going to move forward from this call forward. You are going to move forward. You will demand yourself that you are going to direct as many people as you can to this opportunity, because it's not about you. It's not about how much you're making, to this opportunity to better their lives. And you're going to take the steps that it takes. You're going to get better every single day. You're going to plug into personal development. You're going to come to these team calls, and you're going to grow into a person in 5 years that's going to look back at this and not believe what happened, because you're going to have that belief. So you have to speak to yourself in that manner. Let's see. Okay. And I also wanted to share too, I think Joy kind of talked about this too, but I read once that the most certain person in a room is the person that influences other people. So wouldn't you agree with that? Well, our room is Facebook. And what's awesome about this business too, for people who are like me, who are really shy, well, I'm still shy. If you meet me in person, I'm pretty shy. I'll be on the corner of the wall, but like kind of reserved like me, like we can hide behind Messenger. You know, you can sit there and like be like, I don't know if I like that. I can put this back. You can use scripts and all that kind of stuff. But if you're certain in how you're talking, like I'm certain when I'm talking about, this is a good deal. For $4 a day, you get da-da-da-da-da-da. Like you can go pay $5 a day in a gym. Like I'm certain of that. And so just know that the most certain person is the person that's going to influence, not who's diamond or who's star diamond or who's elite, but who's certain and who shares from their heart and who connects to you. So you have everything that it already takes. Successful people are just willing to do what unsuccessful people aren't willing to do. And unsuccessful people just aren't willing to be intentional in how they posture themselves and how they program their mind. I truly believe, I don't know if Summer agrees with this, I truly believe that this business's foundation is your belief in yourself and in this business. So obviously, I feel like when you build a house, you start with the foundation, right? So build your belief, hang around this atmosphere of belief makers, hope givers, and you will, I promise you. I've doubted this business. I've doubted myself. There were plenty of times I wanted to quit. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say this has been an easy ride for me. It hasn't, but it's been worth it, and it does grow. You do go on an upward hill. So when you feel like you're at, like it seems impossible to you, like you've kind of hit your wall and you don't think it's going to work or it's not working, you're usually just literally a millimeter off. That's what's great about this business for people like me. It's easy, it's simple. You know, there is skill set to it, but it's not hard to learn. It's not like we're studying for Harvard to be a doctor. We have to learn people skills, and that's really what it's down to. But that's easy. That's easy, you guys. So my last point is why you are already extraordinary, which we've kind of talked about. But I wanted to ask you a question. I wanted to ask you guys why you're a coach. Like, why are you on this call? Speak to that, because you might not even be making a substantial amount of money. You might not have a weird rank next to your name. So why are you a coach? It might be that you love the community or the accountability, or you love being a part of something bigger than yourself, or you're passionate about helping other people, or this has made you a better person, or it's helped your faith or your marriage or your self-esteem or your purpose or your happiness, or maybe you just like to go on fun trips. I'm so excited for Nashville. I cannot wait. Whatever it is, there's people out there that need that want that. I needed this business. I had no excitement in my life. I was looking forward to like Christmas and my birthday, and I was wishing for the day to go. And here I am in my 20s, like one day I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be 70. We're all gonna be 70, and we're gonna have aches and pains in our body. We're all gonna have crappy knees because we do plyometrics every day at our house, and we're not gonna have the energy that we have right now to chase and live and take the opportunity and the one shot that we have on this life, and take that with that sense of adventure and seizing the moment, seizing this opportunity. There's going to come a day we can't do this anymore. And taking advantage of this, yesterday's gone, but we can take control of what we have right now. So I want you guys to stand up a little bit taller now, a little bit with more confidence. Like, I am equipped with everything I need to take seize of this opportunity, to do something with this opportunity. I have everything that all these other coaches that have done it, I have everything they have. So stand up and realize you're already extraordinary and you can do this. And it's worth it. I swear to you, it's worth every moment. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it, I promise. So that's all my points. My feet are asleep. I'm sitting on my feet. You're muted.
Okay. Chad moved over and he's like, oh my gosh. Like, he got his notebook out. He's taking notes and everything. He doesn't take notes when I speak.
Yeah, I do.
But when Katlyn, Joy, that was absolutely amazing. Chad, what did you want to say?
So I wish I could take, like, so all of you out there who don't know Katlyn very well, or, you know, have just seen her in this realm of what you just saw, and Joy as well. But Katlyn, especially, if I could take you back to September-ish of 2014 at our house in Palm Springs and see the difference between this woman then and now, you would get, like, it would shock you. It would shock you. I remember talking by we had this pool, and we were talking by the pool, and I was like pulling information out of her. She was just sitting there, and it was just this, and she was just not engaged. She was just, you know, she was afraid and she was unsure. So I'm telling you, if she can do it, anyone can. I mean, you're amazing. That was amazing. Both of you are amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was, you know, like the thing is some people think like, well, I don't have the confidence, and you should be looking at Katlyn and understand what we've seen. You don't have it. You decide to go get it through the tips that Joy and Katlyn just gave with, you know, the small victories and the experience, you know, and changing your thought process, what's being programmed. Change the tape that's in your head, change it for MC Hammer to the fight song, something else. You know what I mean? That's the thing. That's what she was saying, you guys. We get different songs stuck in our head because it's what we focus on, right? So you can change the tape in your head. You just have to decide to change the song over and over and over again. You know, that is such a key piece to the whole thing, and we have control from this day forward. Like, it starts tomorrow, you guys, and I know we've been on longer, but this was a powerful call. You have to draw the line in the sand. It is time. It is time to say, okay, the direction I'm going, if I keep going, this little millimeter is going to take me to flipping Syria. And in Syria, when you get shot down in Syria, do you understand? You get shot down and lots of not nice things happen in Syria. Well, some of us symbolically have that happening in our lives and in our business. Just a millimeter. And all we have to do is change the recipe, change what we're focusing on, and make that decision, draw the line in the sand, and to become committed, period, end of story. Every single day, it's a decision, every single day, to be the person that you want to be, to create what you want to create. We were born in a country where we actually get to create, and we have the recipe to your franchise, to the life that you want to create. We have the recipe. We're handing it over. You just have to receive it. And you have to put into action. Nobody can do that for you. We can't motivate. You have to decide that what the direction you want to go is worth fighting for. And then you have to decide that the things that move your business forward every single day are worth finding a place on your calendar. I don't know why this crap of having to spend 20 hours a week, 50 hours a week, 90, crazy hours to build a business have snuck its way into this business that was built on 5 to 7 hours a week. Big teams were built on a lot of people doing little things and staying balanced. That's how you get where you need to go. The little things every single day. When Chad is just a millimeter off, he doesn't just go like that to turn his plane. Do you know what I mean? You think about a plane. Well, maybe you did. Did you change?
So it just depends who was
in there. Well, they wouldn't vomit. You know what I mean? They would G-lock if he did that, right? They would G-lock. And so, you guys, It's just these little things that we do, these little adjustments every single day that change the direction that we're going. And you have the ability to do that. Just like Katlyn did, just like Joy decided to go home and talk to her Sapphire family differently. It was a decision that she made every single day that changed the atmosphere of her family. It was Katlyn's decision every single day that turned her into a leader, you know, because of how she postured herself and stuff, you guys. So today I want to ask you guys to draw your line in the sand and to do the recipe, the little things every single day that can, you know, when you instead of flying towards Syria over time, we're flying towards the most gorgeous, amazing beaches, whatever is your vision, you know what I mean? That's the direction we're going. That's why we do what we do, whether it be, you know, you're steering towards being debt free, or you're steering towards those vacations, or you're steering, whatever is your vision, draw the line and start making those small adjustments that a year from now, 2 years from now, you know, 5 years, 6 years from now, he's here. Do you guys see what I'm saying? It wasn't some huge 90 hours a week or 80 hours a week that I just G-locked my whole family into what we have now. Does that make sense? We want you to stay balanced. We want you to understand the importance of the millimeter, the little things. Follow the recipe. Guys, understand? Follow the recipe. It's not up for debate. No more than P90X or 21-day fix is up for debate. If you follow 21-day fix, it will deliver results. It's when we start tweaking it, you know, and we start like, well, I think I'm going to add 3 yellows. You know what I mean? Just because I'd rather have 3 yellows. And you know what? I really don't like this one, so I'm going to switch it out with this one. And then we wonder why we don't have the results. You know, it'd be like McDonald's. They don't start, you know, if I bought a McDonald's franchise, I talked to some of you guys about this today. If I bought a McDonald's franchise and I just decided I'm going to change okay, it's proven it works to make money, right? The McDonald's makes money. My ego says, I think I want gluten-free buns, and I think I want to do nitrate-free bacon because it's healthier. And let's just add some avocado because really it's healthier. You know what I mean? Like, I changed the whole recipe. I'm not going to get the same return. I have a completely different business and a different profitability margin. Does that make sense? The same goes for this business. The recipe is not up for debate. It works over and over and over. And you just heard the stories. People making an extra $500,000. Christy Vincent up there in the 2,000 and 3,000, Casey Wallace up in the 5,000 to 6,000 to 7,000s. You know, we have all different levels with the same recipe, with millimeter changes that has taken them right to where they want to go. You just have to draw the line in the sand, stay balanced, decide to put this business for 5 to 7 hours on your schedule a week, that your why, what you're fighting for, the destination you're going to is worth it. And then you just have to take action like they talked about. Okay, you guys are absolutely amazing. You guys, Joy and Katlyn, where Chad has like pages full of notes here. You guys are absolutely I'm just blown away by how far you both have come. I'm excited to hug you guys at Summit, and I appreciate you guys taking the time outside your comfort zone. I'm glad you don't have patches all over your body, Katlyn, anymore. And Joy, I am just completely impressed with you stepping outside your comfort zone and doing it so naturally. So absolutely amazing. You guys have an awesome week. Stay plugged in. Ask questions in the team pages. Don't be an island. Stay surrounded. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.